yet another game. This is the fourth game we're going to be bringing you today of the OES LoL Championships, Ontario Esports Society. I forget what the
Oh my god. Ladies and gentlemen, take two. This is the Ontario Esports Series Provincial Championships held in Ontario, homegrown in Ontario. All our talent is Ontarian. We don't have a girl up in the basement. This is going to be the $2,500 prize pool featuring some of the best talent from Windsor, Toronto, my backyard, Frank's backyard, his Snapchat, everywhere. We've got the best of the best. And we're going to see it here first. This is probably the predicted final already, but we're going to see it anyways.
Yeah.
This is... two of probably these guys are at the top of the pack right now. So whoever wins this game, it will be decided who's kind of like already like in the winners kind of bracket of the final stage. And in this case, we have a Wild Mimo, his team, who had just played last game, completely raffle stomped in fine fashion. With early game champions that ransacked the map of turrets, champions, gold, buffs, grass, water droplets from the river. You name it, they took it.
The destroyer of planets, these guys.
The destroyers of planets, yeah. And on the opposite side, we have the Toronto favorites, the UFT team of UFT Azure, as they like to be called, but the UFT team featuring Biofrost, who I think he was in LCS. I want to think that he was in LCS at some point, or he is currently. But nevertheless, he is a really strong support player.
Yeah.
Regardless of where he's from, what his mama gave him, but he is a really strong support player, and I give him kudos. You know, being a support man, I give him kudos. Why don't you get into the pick and ban a little bit here, Frank Alicious?
Yeah, for sure. So Alistar, obviously extremely popular right now. His engaged potential, and you know, the fact that he does have so many options with his build and which route he can take. He can make himself more supportive with the Crucible. There's a million ways you can build this guy, and it's going to be viable depending on the situation that you're up against. So he gets banned out. Aurelia is gone. Seems a little bit targeted there. Echo and Azure clearly targeted here, up against probably Viper, I'm going to say. Those are targeted against. Thresh goes down as well. Just generally a strong champion, but who is it on that team? I think it's Ace. No, AC's their ADC. I'm trying to remember.
Ask me. I got you. Ask me.
The support.
It's Biofrost. I just said he's a
support
player. Yo, do you even listen to what I say?
Hey, man, they changed some of their names, so it's throwing me off a little bit here.
Yo, the last time they played at ESL, they were Biofrost.
Hey. Anyways, down that goes, but I will say very quickly snatched up here is the Hecarim and Gragas, Sivir, and Rek'Sai. There's some pretty common patterns to this entire tournament, and those are definitely champions that have either been banned or picked throughout the entire thing, so not a surprise to see those out there.
And if we talk about in terms of team compositions, these are super standard. I mean, you just said that, but I want to talk a little bit about it in a analytical standpoint. Biofrost, he plays a lot of Annie. It's a really good combination to send your support flying in. So Annie has a little bit of extra range on her tippers, or she knocks up and she chain CCs with the tipper. So it's a great combo in the bot lane. Gragas is a really tanky champion. Of course, the nerf to his body slam doesn't make him doesn't make him that bad, but I still think Gragas has fallen off a little bit since the nerfs that he's had a little bit, or like the reworking of Cinderhulk, right? So just all of those things as a cumulative slice of pie kind of doesn't make him as delicious as, let's say, Rek'Sai, who's on the opposing team. Rek'Sai, she goes to all the clubs, she hits up all the strips, she's really good at what she does. But Hecarim is still a driving force in the meta with the style and the synergy that he has with coming out of nowhere, and we're still waiting on the mid laner from Viper. Very standard pick and ban strategy to pick your mid laner last.
Cassiopeia. I'm calling it.
You're calling it?
Yeah,
I'm calling Corki.
True. Yeah, actually, it was his last tournament. Actually, the qualifier that he played or that U of T played to get into this was a really close matchup. It was between them and the Freebirds, which had players like Zing and
Zig.
Zig, sorry, yes. No.
No, Zing and Zig.
Yeah,
Zing.
that's what I'm saying. God.
Tails. Zig.
You can stop there. No, I'm
Normalize.
Just yeah. Dragon Raider.
Dragon Raider. Mr. Jiggly.
That's 5. We got it.
Yeah, I got it, yeah.
So, big team there. Definitely has a lot of experience. But, in the end, they scraped it out in kind of an upset. I think a lot of people were expecting that they were going to be walking away with that one, that Freebirds were walking away. But, U of T shows up huge, and it was because of a lot of the quirky play in the mid lane, but now they're going to stick it out with Kog'Maw. It's just his play style, man. He absolutely loves it. Big AP from range damage.
Yeah, and that's why he's opting in for the Kog'Maw. Oh, that's what you just said. Sorry, I was posting something on Twitter.
Yeah, that's okay. No, it's all right if you don't pay attention to your co-caster.
Wow, excuse me,
at least
yo,
twice.
you're the what, yo.
For those of you who weren't sure, by the way, Biofrost is actually going to be playing support today, so congrats to him. And I did listen to every single word that Funny Scene was saying there.
Yeah,
so
hardly.
That's great.
I do want to touch on the Nautilus pickup from Capasun. Capasun played Thresh last game. He did really well. He played Leona the first game, but it was kind of like lackluster. But he landed the Zenith Blade, so I think that he really likes hook champions, or he likes skill shot champions, and he does very well on them. But he likes them to be a little bit tanky. So in this situation, they're gonna need an early front line, and Nautilus is gonna offer that. One thing I find when I face Nautilus as a support is that his Riptide does a lot of damage despite him not having a lot of AP to his kit most of the time. I mean, if you build Banner of the Command, you have AP, right? I mean, it's still a support item.
Yeah.
But Rek'Sai is it's gonna be a while before Rek'Sai gets kicking. But you had mentioned this earlier that there was a Rek'Sai that went flat tank, and that's okay. In that game, they needed a flat tank. But in this game, we might see Rek'Sai itemize a little bit more towards damage. She can get away with it this game. They have the Gnar front line, they have the Nautilus front line, and to be honest with you, they're gonna need it. I don't think this is not the same late game. This is not the same early game monster that they had last time, right? We're gonna be looking at 54 bomb 99 to really step it up, because Kog'Maw, if you let him like these are both scaling mid laners, but I think that Kog'Maw, in terms of this composition, if they're gonna want to like engage or disengage or kite back or push forward, Kog'Maw's definitely the man with the golden balls here, and he's gonna be really providing his team with a lot of good artillery. And if worst comes to worst, blue team goes balls to the wall, they have a lot of disengage and a lot of re-engage to really add that ham to the sandwich.
Yeah, it's definitely true. I think, again, anytime you see Sivir, I think some of the original, like, just flat out, just Zerg comps, like, just rushing the enemy team down and not allowing the disengage to happen. Even if it happens, you've got reset capability for that chase because you're just going so fast. It was originally, like, the Sivir, Udyr, I forget who else is in there, but like Kha'Zix was in there too. Like, just a big rushdown comps were really huge. So I think that they're kind of pseudo doing that, but they're doing it with such a massive front line that it's almost like the new meta, like the more advanced version of that old comp, where it was just all in. Like, you just went full damage, you slammed your face into them, and you picked up stuff as you were moving forward. And it was kind of like rugged, where you just lose somebody along the way, but you just like, screw it, let's just keep going. This one, even though you've got Sivir and Vlad, like, both of them have protective abilities where they can at least either spell shield or, you know, turn into a pool of blood and not be targetable. Those are two very good ways of getting away with that kind of comp, especially having damage dealers in the front line. But you're right. I think XJJ9, we saw how well he did building damage. I think we're going to see the same thing this time around.
Yeah. Sorry. What did you say? No.
May as well mute my mic again. Am I right? Jesus.
Oh my god.
You're a bad guy.
Yo, man, sorry to go a little bit off track here, but Jackson and I were We're just talking about how much of an asshole you are. No, I'm joking.
Wow. Okay.
It's alright, guys. Follow him on Snapchat. One Frank. Frank's a nice guy sometimes. Sometimes. He's a good caster though. I'll give him that. He's Windsor's finest.
When I'm when I'm paying attention, then. Okay, so we're gonna start things up here. One of the things we didn't really mention, actually, we didn't really mention at all the entirety of the team here from U of T, especially not how they're gonna be synergizing. You've got Annie is just gonna be holding on to the Callista passive there. What do you think about that one? Do you think there would have been a better option, or do you think just making sure that the person that you're linked to is the person that you're in lane with you, or that's in lane with you?
I think that's pretty much this.
Uh-oh.
Hey, gonna have to put that on pause.
Wow, here we go. Big fight coming out on this one. Dank Meme started E. Forced to flash back on this one. Gets ignited. Lots of summoners going down. XJJ9 almost goes down. Not enough, though. Biofrost, massive stun. First blood goes to Callista. Permanent Love, probably going to pick this one up as well. Double kill. A wild Mimo about to go down here as well. Oh, but it's not enough. Nice kill on the back line, though. Silver's going to pick that one up, so it's a 2-for-1. Could have been a lot worse. Sivert grabbing that kill on the end there was huge. But look at the summoner burned here. Literally only left with Teleport, Ghost, and Smite on one side. On the opposite end, they did retain quite a bit more. But still, what a wild ride in these opening minutes.
Absolutely. And as you can see, I wanted to talk about the summoners, but you got it. But to answer your question about the Callista, you know, Oath Sworn towards the support, it's pretty much standard, and it's because of the auto attack synergy that you get, and especially with somebody like Annie who loves to abuse auto attacks. I remember when she had her longer range, I would just play Annie support all the time, and I wouldn't even use my abilities. I would just auto attack the opponent all the damn time. But in a situation like this, it's pretty much standard to have Callista. It's pretty much standard to have Callista connected to her support because of that auto attack connection. I'm just repeating what I'm saying now, but that's essential. That's essentially what it is. One thing I want to mention as we're paused, okay, Hecarim's starting Wolves. So
Yep.
This is something that we're not really used to seeing. But it's because he started Crystalline Flask. He's able to sustain. He started. Oh, I don't know what he started. Let me see what he started. He had started Q, so he's just gonna spam Q all the time. But you get what, like, he's getting that early advantage, and it's very interesting to see because it's not something that we're used to. We only see that in LCS. Somebody has like an early start or whatever the big deal is. But it's very interesting to see. I love seeing Ontario try stuff that's in LCS, but I also love seeing Ontario try new things.
Yeah. It seems like it's flying though. I think a lot of the top laners nowadays, for some reason, it's just like it's almost standard where you have to have the ability to do that as a champion. I know Sion was obviously spearheading that for a while, just abusing the fact that his passive allowed you to just mash those wolves down afterwards. So yeah, I think you're right. It is good to see these guys doing LCS plays, like LCS styles, but
on the same foot, like I like how they try new things every now and then.
Of course.
Like you said, the AP Nocturne from Challenger by Molon. I don't know.
They're not bringing it, unfortunately, to the competitive scene, but he does definitely play some weird stuff. I actually make fun of him for it quite a bit.
It's not very nice.
I don't know what to tell you. It's just it's hilarious. He just plays the goofy stuff, but clearly he's like a Challenger level player, so I can't.
Yeah, and you're not.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to the game. If we take a look at the mid lane as Frank regains his confidence, it's just kind of a little bit even in terms of back and forth. I have seen Vladimir played in the European scene a little bit in the mid lane. I'm not exactly sure why. I don't know what he offers in mid lane that wouldn't be available somewhere else or wouldn't work in the top lane.
Ooh.
Maybe, whoa, putting that on pause. Annie getting hooked up, but the Rend gonna take down Nautilus. Is it gonna take down a second? They're gonna continue to chase in the middle of the lane. Rek'Sai getting taken down by Gragas. 1v1 in the mid lane. Kog'Maw versus Vladimir. Gragas backs off, so does Kog'Maw, and so does bot lane. But wow, fights all over the map.
Yep, and it looks like at the end of the day, it's definitely going to be a victory here in favor of U of T Azure. Of course, you got to keep in mind that at the start of this game, ooh, actually Biofrost goes in here. There's going to be the spear, or the spell shield rather. Oh, but
the heal and Biofrost
is it?
Taken
Oh
down.
wow, nicely done.
Enough. The potion manages to tick out just enough for the ignite not to tick through, and that's gonna go in pretty much back in favor of Sivir. Just gonna farm up the CS, catch up in CS. Although Kalista got those 2 kills in the beginning of the game, this gives Sivir the opportunity to kind of catch back up.
Yeah, and just the fact that there were kills on each side, even though it was favored towards Kalista, it wasn't like everybody started with a kill in bottom lane. Those 2 supports were severely gimped by the fact that the opposing AD carry had now an extra chunk of damage in their kit, or an extra bit of experience, or potions, or whatever it is that they picked up. So you gotta sit back and kind of let them duke it out. But then it's so volatile because they do have that extra little bit of experience.
Here we go. Gragas in the ball lane. Sivir gonna turn around onto the Annie. Not exactly sure what's going on. She's just kind of waiting in the wings, but the flash from the hook.
Wow.
Gragas, are you gonna be able to do enough damage? Slam Nautilus in the perfect position, right between the Sivir and the Gragas, allowing Gragas to kind of miss his body slam, and the overall width of it wasn't enough to take down the Sivir.
Yep, that's a little bit unfortunate. I know not having enough width is definitely a problem that a lot of guys are experiencing, especially with their skill shots these days. They've reduced the width of the Nidalee Spear, of the Gragas E. So yeah, definitely looking for more width, that Sivir, for sure, especially being a warrior princess, as she is very difficult to satisfy by aiming at her with skill shots.
Well, you know what, there's the infamous quote, a very, very popular philosopher once said, size isn't everything. And looks like Kalista's about to learn that the hard way. She's gets flash knocked up on. Gonna try to kite with poise, but it's not gonna be enough. Vladimir
really just clapped at her death there. I don't know if you caught the noise clip there, but when he does his Q, he claps, but it didn't go off, so he just kind of was like happy that she died.
That's cute. Looks like MiMos team has kind of MiMos Angels has kind of found the momentum back into this game, whereas U of T had that early momentum. They're like, yeah, let's go balls to the wall. We got this. No issue, no tissue. But looks like MiMos team had a box of Kleenex back at base, so they're ready to go and ready to get back into it. But in the mid lane, Viper got his poisonous sting. It's just insane. Rek'Sai gonna come off to the side.
Here we go.
Like he's gonna try to 2v1. I'm sure he was, but Rek'Sai.
Wow.
Oh, he's really, really low. Rek'Sai's not gonna be able to chase, and Viper just walks out of it, skibbity bop doop free, and he's just gonna continue his game. He's gonna continue his life, and Gragas is gonna come off to the wings here. Hopefully, just provide some pressure, some relief from the Rek'Sai. But I think both junglers are gonna spend a lot of their time in the bot lane this game.
Yeah, I gotta say, really, really well disengaged there by Kog'Maw by being aggressive. So he throws out that ooze to get a little bit of extra damage onto Vlad, who you could see was trying to position to get himself a little bit of extra damage there. Unfortunately, it doesn't go down. Which I actually want to answer that really nice play with a small anecdote here. I'm sure you heard about this, but the day after he won the qualifier for this tournament, I was actually just, I was pumped up. I just watched a great tournament, watched U of T take it down. I interviewed Viper, and then the next day I'm solo queuing. I get a message from the enemy team. He goes, the enemy ADC, he goes, hey, are you Frank from Toronto? Yes. Hey, it's Viper, the guy you interviewed. Thanks. Awesome. I'm so glad that you get to now answer my question as to why you're a god by, like, blowing me up, essentially. And that's what happened. Did you lose? Oh, I got absolutely dominated. I tried to gank him like 9 times, and it just didn't work.
He knew.
Yeah, he did know. Of course he did.
As Drake says repeatedly in his music.
Yeah.
They know. They know.
They know.
Yeah.
But it was sad anyways. It was a sad day. He's quite a good player. That's basically the point.
I duoed with him. Not the same day, but a different day. I duoed with him on his Smurf, and he carried my ass. I did play Alistar every game, and I did do my business. I did play Alistar the way I play Alistar.
Yep.
We even played he played ADC, and I played support one game.
That's
and we dominated bot lane.
By we, I think
I
you mean he.
No, we did it together. I'm pretty sure I was there, but we're gonna have to put that conversation on pause as Kog'Maw.
Jesus.
Wait, how did he get that movement speed? Oh, he popped Ghost. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little
so
bit
he used the summoner spell, rather Ghost than Flash, right? If I do say so. But this mid lane camp is so prominent in like every single style of play. I think that's a little bit of a preemptive ult. I think that's I don't think that Kalista needed to ult there to save Annie.
No. I don't think so either, but at least they get away. You always take a sure thing if it's there, right? But they do get away with that one, and you're right, man. Just watching Nautilus with that E damage is absolutely huge. So going in onto Biofrost there, the pullout, maybe not necessary, but at the very least, it's a nice getaway here. One thing I want to point out, by the way, is the fact that Kog'Maw is rocking out with Ghost Flash. The reason he's able to do that is because he's basically shelling out enough damage that he doesn't have to really be concerned about what he's going to get done with Ignite or anything like that. He just knows that as long as he's safe, he's going to be working that damage like crazy.
You imagine, okay, so we know that heal is a very prominent summoner spell, but I wonder what Riot could do to make Clarity a viable mid lane spell.
Clarity. Yeah. Maybe if they just like up the damage output, like if there's like a temporary damage increase or something like that.
Maybe, yeah, maybe. Or maybe like for the next 3 abilities, there's like an empowered ability. I don't know.
Yeah.
That would be OP as hell, though. I think they would nerf that into the ground upon release.
Or for the next like 30 seconds, you just turn into Echo. That would be pretty broken.
Yeah.
Because that guy is fair, right?
Or like your mana goes back to what it was 10 minutes ago, or something. Or like 30 seconds ago. I think that'd be pretty good.
Oof. No, Omega B takes a beating there, but he does have the Warden's Mail, which actually, by the way, random thought here, Warden's Mail is arguably one of the most cost-efficient items in the entire game. Like, the benefit you get out of that thing is insane. So getting it early is not a surprise here. Oh, but maybe too early here. XJJ9 in the back lines here is going to be forced to go over that wall. He's trying to fight dank memes right now. Not going to work out so well. There's the Gragas ultimate coming down. Rek'Sai still pounding away. Who's going to get the dragon on this one? It's going to be blue side, but they're going to continue the fight.
Oh, 54 bomb 99 blows up Biofrost. The ult coming out from Kalista. The flash coming out over the woods. We're going to be double kill coming out for the mid laner. Gragas body slam. Unfortunately, doesn't hit anybody. So does the ultimate. Tilt Central is the name of this capital city. Ult missed everywhere, and Kog'Maw left to kind of fend for himself. He does have flash available. He could turn this around into a pirate ship and just lay waste onto all his opposing enemies. But looks like he's going to save his mana. A little bit of a rough situation to be for Mr. Dank Memer himself. Wow, I think that MiMos Angels definitely has the swing, the momentum swing at the current moment. Vladimir is level 9, which when you learn in League of Legends school, when they teach you, 9 is the power spike level for Vladimir. I think that's when he maxes his Q all the way.
Yeah.
And he's ready to go full guns blazing.
Did you just say they teach that in grade school? Like alongside
in league school.
No, oh, I see.
League school. In league.
It's like Bedmass and then like V at the end. Bedmass and Vladimir's power spike. Subtraction. Vladimir's Q gets maxed. I got it.
Oh my God. Just write that on a test. Get perfect.
Yeah, done.
That's what I learned.
I never trolled my teachers. I look at the like, oh, actually, here we go. Bit of an engage. No, anyway.
No, it's just a tango lesson. It's not the real recital yet.
Oh.
But looks like Hecarim. Oh my God, the ultimate from Kalista. I can't pay attention to 2 places at the map at once. Looks like Sarah's gonna continue the chase. Gonna throw Annie back the other way. the stun wasn't available. Just gonna return
Wow.
some damage, but the hook from Hook City
There it is.
from downtown. Heal coming out, Ignite, not gonna finish off the Callista, or is it? Nope, it's not.
Maybe emotionally.
Rek'Sai gonna turn this around, but the damage from Kog'Maw just gonna continue the pirate ship. Wow, I think that UFT's looking a little rocky today. In particular, top lane and jungle have just been kind of like a little bit didn't wake up on the wrong side of the bed this morning. Didn't have the scrambled eggs that they needed for that protein energy. I just think that it's gonna be rough to create opportunities this game for UFT.
Yo, a wild Nemo though. That trolling with the auto attack animation.
Yeah.
Pretty silly stuff.
It looks like every single Tryndamere player ever.
Yeah, true. You actually can't play Tryndamere. It's actually in the guidelines. It's one of his passive stats. You have to do that. Like, you just immediately learn how to right click and press S a whole bunch of times.
Well, yeah, I've actually seen back when Kassadin was very prominent. He's not as prominent now, but back when Kassadin was prominent, people were trying to figure out a way how to deal with him, right? And Faker and a bunch of Korean mids found out that Tryndamere was a really good counter to Kassadin. And the reason is because in the early game you build crit and you just stand in lane and you spam auto attack S and you wait for your crit animation, because your crit animation looks different than your regular auto attack animation. So a little bit of Tryndamere knowledge for you.
Oh, good stuff. I don't know if it's gonna be enough though. There's the ghost.
Oh, the juke. I wonder if Kog'Maw's gonna be able to finish off this artillery mission, but in the top lane we see Gnar picking up the Hecarim, but Rek'Sai gonna return the favor for Bomb 99 Annie in the wings. And ooh, I wanna quickly, very briefly for 30 seconds talk about this vision control. God damn, Mimo, they just know exactly what UFT is doing at all points in the game.
Top
But
lane.
Biofrost is roaming to that top lane. Gragas comes up. Here comes Annie. She has the stun available. Tibber is also with Tibber's ultimate completely decimated. He's not going anywhere. But who's the good kill gonna go to? That's good. Hecarim's gonna need those kills to kind of. Well, hey, I mean, if Biofrost picked up the kill, it wouldn't have been as effective as giving it to Hecarim. Who needs it right now? Who needs that motivation? Who needs that Billie Jean inspiration? It's good.
I gotta say though, for Hecarim's build right now, I'm a little bit thrown off. Ooh, actually, is he gonna go in? No, he's gonna get away. Yeah, I was gonna say though, like it feels like he's just not sure where he's gonna go. He's a little bit ADD on his build. He started up, he's like, you know what? I'm gonna get those home guards, and then I'm gonna go straight into a Randuin's. And then halfway through his Randuin, he's like, no. I think I'm gonna get a Phage. Or yo, about that Sheen though. What about the Sheen? I think I'm gonna get the Sheen first. I swear to God, he's gonna sell the flask and pick up Brawler's gloves. That's his next shop.
I feel like Static Shiv now that I think about it.
Yeah.
I'll get a Zeal just in case I feel like Trinity later.
Yeah, oh, there's a Sheen, and no Phage. No Randuin. But I gotta say, sitting on Warden's Mail isn't that bad. So I think he's just going straight to Trinity.
Yeah. Hey, ain't no Phage.
Wow.
Whoa, did they just lane swap? Interesting.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting.
They got the tower, and
they got both towers, though. Why would they need to lane swap now?
Well, it's Dragon. They're waiting on Dragon. And he's got teleport, so he's just going to be down here for Dragon, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That's the correct answer.
I'm glad I took a shot at that one and won.
Well, you said you were wrong every single time last game, so
No. That's just on like mysteries. Yeah, mysteries of like the back end, right?
Did you know?
Yeah.
Oh, Gnar with the frozen mallet, gonna be able to slow down. Wow, that's really, really slow.
Here we go.
But looks like they're gonna continue the chase with Sivir. The Gragas ultimate saving. Oh, and the Callista ultimate. That's bad news, Bears. They're gonna need that for the Dragon, but it looks like it's just gonna go in favor of MiMos Angels. Hecarim gonna pick up this turret. He's not gonna recall. He's just gonna continue the push. And I think that Viper right now is just farming up. He's waiting to get to that scary late game Kog'Maw. Kind of like if any of you watched North American LCS, the first game that TSM played against C9, I believe Incarnation was on Kog'Maw, and it took a long time before they found their footing. They completely lost the early game, but they had won the late game because they had waited for Incarnation's Kog'Maw to kind of ramp up. I feel like in this situation, that's definitely what they're doing, and they're not picking fights, and you can see that. Last game, we saw Molon just pick fights, but this game, you can see UFT's kind of playing on the back foot, but they're doing it smart. They're doing it wise. They're not letting MiMos team bite off more than like bite off too much.
Yeah.
But they're still letting them go a little rampant. But that's okay. They're just waiting to ramp up.
It's like if you ever encounter a shark and it like bites you, apparently the best solution for that is just to punch it in the nose. So they're like you can have like the calf, you can have a little piece, but I'm gonna keep the rest of the body. That way, at the end of the day, I can go home happy. You know, I'm gonna go back to my wife and kids. It'll be good. Which, by the way, as of what, yesterday or 2 days ago, you can have a wife legally in all of the states, and you can be a female. Isn't that something? Or a male, and you can have a wife. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Nobody cares anymore.
Or you can have a husband.
Yeah, husband, wife, whatever.
Husband.
Yeah.
Wife.
Or if you're on Tumblr, it could be almost anything. I don't know if they legalized all that yet.
Yeah, no dogs and wives yet.
No. Or like I identify with like Ponykin.
Ponykin. For all you bronies out there.
Not quite yet. Anyways,
Not quite.
Annie gets away from that one.
Cool. No, that's cool. Yeah, it's definitely cool.
Yeah.
So I think Brahmin Pantheon could definitely get it going. Looks like they're gonna be. They really want this red buff. The ultimate coming out onto Kog'Maw. They really want to chase this down. Hecarim using a defensive ult. Gragas has his ult available. I think he used it earlier. They are gonna take the red buff. Ooh, I don't know how I feel about this right now. UFT is just kind of letting MiMos team walk all over, but I know that they're doing it in stride. I know that they're doing it to get that perfect pick. But if you're waiting for that perfect pick, like you're waiting for that perfect ice cream, you go to all the Dairy Queens in Ontario, you're waiting for that perfect soft serve. You're not gonna get it. Like you're not gonna get the perfect soft serve.
No, you can get the perfect pizza if you go to Windsor, but
unfortunately not. I'm gonna have to say no.
I'm gonna bring up a pizza from Windsor. It's gonna be piping hot. I gotta find room in my trunk to put the full stove in there, but I'm telling you, man, it's gonna change your world.
You should give it to me today.
No, well, no. Oh, here we go, though. Up in the top lane, 54 bomb, 99. Healing more than the damage he's taking, but he's going to get beat up.
Oh, Andy coming in to join the party. The pool, and Zanya's the stun.
Wow.
He wasn't surviving anyways, not sure. Like, I mean, you're buying time, but are you just buying time for the split push after Sivir dies? Are you buying time for the split push after Sivir dies? What's the dealio, Vladdy boy? What's going on? Whoa, that knockup was way out of line. This Rek'Sai is just going from river to river, but he gets denied from the tunnel shaft. He gets shafted in the tunnel. But yeah, that was good for UFT. They only lost the support. Sivir went 2 balls deep and got blown up by the Kog'Maw. Completely drenched in ooze. That was good. That was really, really good for UFT. And now is the time to strike. This is their momentum time. This is when all of their secrets and codes and skins come unlocked. You can play every character in the menu, and I hope this is the momentum that they need to kind of start going balls to the wall.
True. One of the things I'm noticing, by the way, is that, so first of all, Kog'Maw, I think is really big in the mix right now because of Luden's Echo. Like, if you just think of Kog'Maw's ultimate and then you think, okay, there's also Luden's Echo, that's a really, really big combination. And it sounds so basic, but it really is one of the best combos in the game right now, even though it's so simple. But what I'm noticing with the way that Viper plays this AP Cog, no matter what ability he's launching, he always follows it with his ultimate. Every single time. So he'll fire out the Ooze, ultimate right behind it. He'll fire out the, what is that, the Armor Shredder. I think that's his Q?
Yeah.
Yeah, he fires that out.
Corrosive Spittle.
There you go. Immediately followed by the ultimate. So it's kind of like you're watching out for one ability, because everything, you can dodge everything in his kit, but then there's always an ultimate behind it, so it kind of is just that extra little chunk of damage. Simple, but I gotta point out that he really is shelling out a lot of damage all the time, and he does finish the loot-ins, so I feel pretty bad for whoever he's firing under.
That damage is bananas, and he jukes the ultimate there, but like I said, this is definitely the time to shine for LeBron James. Whoa, he almost fell a little bit low there, but this is definitely Kog'Maw's hour right now, and I agree with what you're saying about Kog'Maw, but I think that's how you play Kog'Maw. Like I think that's like the standard LCS pattern. Like that's what you're supposed to be doing, and he's making it work. He's definitely like there's I don't know, is there another way to play Kog'Maw? I don't know, but he
gets to do it too because he does have that Archangels. Remember he played for the now it's the what is that, Seraphs?
Yeah.
So
there's
smart.
There's one streamer in Toronto called PokeLols, and he actually loves Kog'Maw a lot. Like Kog'Maw's like his favorite champion.
Yeah.
And he talks a lot about the difference between Seraphs and Unholy Grail. Unholy Grail is good because if you get a kill, you get a lot of your mana back and you can keep going. And then if you keep getting kills and you keep getting kills. However, Seraphs is a little bit better for long-term damage if you're not getting any kills, right? So you need to think about, I guess, itemization-wise, like what's the deal? But I think at the end all be all, Seraphs is better only because of the nerf to Unholy Grail. But it looks like we're gonna have a little bit of a fight. Oh, Gnar getting huge, not gonna get anybody in his ultimate, only 2 of the tanks. Kalista having a field day, Nautilus gonna get her knocked up, she's gonna get exploded completely. Kog'Maw just off to the side with his pirate ship just laying waste to the enemies. Hecarim trying to get away as best as he can. 2 for 1 so far, 2 for 3 actually. Wow, lots of damage.
Another
Nautilus going to be able to get the kill up there. Double kill going out for Vladimir. Rek'Sai still locked.
Wow.
The wings. Ooh, but are they
Oh
gonna get
my
the
god.
Kill? The 1v1. Is this going to be the ace? Oh, 5 for 4. Kog'Maw going to be getting out of that one alive. And,
almost the full Romeo Juliet.
Yeah, for sure.
Almost, but not quite. The full Shakespeare. You never go full Shakespeare, but in this case, they almost went the whole way there. So really, I did not expect that. I really thought that U of T at the start of that fight, I thought they were just going to slaughter the other guys. AC started that fight right in the mix, saved Annie. Even she got thrown over the wall, so she was even less effective in the middle of that fight, where she could have been just tossed right in and at least abuse the fact that they were all clumped up.
Sure.
But no, Kalista just like full-blown front-lined that one and just did so much damage because she stayed alive for so long.
Absolutely. I think that the fight would have went in the way that you thought it would have went if Kalista didn't get completely focused down. So technically it was kind of like a 4v5 from the very beginning, and that's still very impressive. The fact that they were able to do that, and I think another reason why they were able to turn the 4v5 into like a ace for 1 exchange is because Kog'Maw got a lot of group damage off. Like that's insane. Like they were all clumped together and he was just landing his artillery, but it was landing multiple people. And that's bananas if you think about it. The fact that like the enemy team's letting you do that is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But even so, Nautilus is falling a little bit low. Here comes the flank from Hecarim. He's ulting in. Beautiful timbers. They're going to get the pickup onto Nautilus, and he picks up that one clean and clear like the face wash. Kalista picking up the Rek'Sai. They're going to continue to chase. Gnar getting completely kited to infinity. Vladimir gets the Kog'Maw. Is this the turnaround fight? Kalista in the wings. AC just having a field day, not getting focused at all. That's going to be the clean ace for U of T. They're gonna pick up the dragon, maybe the Baron, maybe the game. No, not the game, but definitely what they need. And wow, that's wow, what a great fight. Even though they lost Viper that fight, that was still very clean.
Yeah, that was absolutely insane. So I really think at the start of that one, Nautilus going so low was just the biggest detriment there. Vladimir also did not get as much AoE damage off as he needed to. He really is kind of the fighting force for this team right now. Zhonya's, Abyssal, Will of the Ancients. He's got pretty well the essential pieces to his kit. I'd like to see him finish up a Rabadon's like as soon as possible, because when you've got a Vlad with a max W and a Zhonya's, and you've got the cooldown from your W coming pretty much right back after you've Zhonya's, you're looking good almost no matter what the situation is. Like, you have potential to win the fight as long as you've got enough damage to clean people up amidst all of that kiting and invulnerability.
That will be the case at level 18.
Yeah.
He doesn't have max W yet, so for like, I mean, that doesn't make a big difference, but a few seconds could mean a whole lot, right? Like the cooldown on his W could make or break what helps him survive.
Yeah.
I find it really cool that as you were talking about that, U of T was doing Baron, and then as soon as they're like, you know what, we can't do it, Talisman of Ascension out, and it's like they were never there. It was very, very slick of them, and very kind of like, we can't do Baron, let's not risk it. Like, let's not do it. Like, and that's very, like, when you have that gut and that like that stamina to say no, that's pretty impressive. Because a lot of teams generally throw out Baron. I think like there's probably a crazy statistic somewhere that most games are lost, like after a team gets aced at Baron, after they're doing it.
It's pretty likely. The only statistic I know like that where you're like pretty likely to lose, and I've said it in a lot of my casts, is like, if you're, I think it's like 15 minutes, if you're down by 1,000 gold, you lose like 98% of your games or something like that. But yeah, I don't know about the Baron fights though, unfortunately. I haven't read that book yet.
Oh yeah, you do, yeah, okay. Fair enough. I'll lend it to you sometime.
Okay, cool. That's fair.
If you're gonna be at the party later today, I'll hook you up.
I don't know about all that. The 4-hour drive is pretty soul crushing.
Yeah, and we're gonna be done at like. Anyways,
yo, these esports parties so underground.
Party? Yo, dog. Anyways, it's just a B-Day bash. Baron being the #1 contestant on the game show. Looks like Rek'Sai is going to be the first runner-up. Going to get blown up by Kalista. Who's next? Who wants a piece of the pie? Nautilus going to get completely stunned up by the Tibbers. Vladimir waiting in the wings, but looks like Kalista's going to have a 1v1 tussle with the Sivir. They're going to kill each other. Wait, nope, the Sivir gets out alive. I thought that was going to be a Romeo and Juliet, but I guess not. Vladimir just having, like, how is he surviving? He's just juking all the abilities, walking in the Bermuda Triangle.
Jesus.
He lands. Oh, but the ultimate gonna finish him off by the Hecarim. He's gonna need his Omega B vitamins, and that's gonna be Baron with Gnar pushing in the top lane, bot lane actually rather. Wow, I'm just flabbergasted. I'm like a rolling motor. I just these fights are insane.
Uh-oh, Gnar's gonna come into this one. I think he's just looking to pull them away. And actually, this could be really, really bad for U of T. 2 full HP characters here. One of them's a jungler.
Oh, but they turn the fight onto Gnar. He has to flash out. Both summoners burn. Nautilus coming in the wings. This is Riptide going to be enough, and he walks away scot-free, but he's going to get ticked out by the Ignite.
Wow.
Kog'Maw picking up the... Oh, Rek'Sai, sorry, picking up the Kog'Maw. And that might be Baron. Like I said, don't throw a Baron. like I said that 5 minutes ago. I guess they're not watching the stream.
No.
And looks like Hecarim's waiting in the wings. His ultimate's going to be up soon. Probably before the Baron's even at half HP, his ultimate's going to be ready to wine and dine. Dragon's waiting off in the wings. Vladimir is a little bit late to the party. Looks like they're going to focus their attention onto the... Oh, but the missed ultimate, that's going to be no slice, no dice. Looks like Kalista's going to pick up the kill onto her homegirl, Sivir. Oh my god, AC on the up ground.
This is just non-stop.
This is just bananas. Vladimir hoping to... Oh, but the pushing. Oh, the flash. Not going to be enough. Kalista executes as she needs to, and that's going to be Baron.
Round 4?
Round 4. This is the 4th season of the Baron Bachelor, as I like to say. Buckle up, because we're giving out roses today. They have the Smite available. They have the Rent Stacks. Gnar making his way to that Baron buff, but it's not going to be. He's not going to be there in time. There are 3 low characters that could potentially turn it around, but they got the Talisman of Ascension. He jumps out, but here comes the Annie. She doesn't have the stun available. She stuns him up. They're gonna the body slam and the slow Gnar. Wow. Why did you peek your head in?
Yeah, that was nuts. So at the end of the day, a whole lot of action, but we do end up with an 11 kill lead. Baron now under the belt, still down a dragon. and down a tower, so the game is definitely balanced here. A good chunk of gold lead, but still, 33 minutes into the game, now 34. I really wouldn't worry so much about that gold advantage. Yes, it's 6 grand. Yes, it's a good couple items. But I really think that the more important factors here are going to be how much map control do you have by getting those towers down, which is in favor of blue team, and where are those buffs going to come into play. Once that Baron buffs runs out, obviously Dragons are going to continue on. So we'll see how that all plays out. It's still going for number 2, though.
Oh, baby. Yep. Here comes the dynamic throw. The hook doesn't land. Oh, it does land, but he manages to kind of... What even happened?
Yeah, I don't even know. I can't break that one down for you, sorry.
Looks like the PB&J, the peanut butter and play-by-play casting is not going to be as smooth as the knife slices. Looks like they're going to be trying to make their way, make a re-engage. Hecarim off in the wings. Going to turn on his PlayStation 1 and his... Oh, but he manages to stop the Rek'Sai tunnel. Hits him right in the forehead against the Baron wall.
Nutty.
Continues the chase. Nautilus gonna throw down his Riptide, slow down the Hecarim. Kog'Maw, not exactly sure what. I think somebody was recalling and he just missed him. Teleport coming in from Hecarim. They're gonna just push down this turret completely. I think Hecarim is tanky enough to do so.
I don't know about the damage output though.
This is risky. This is very risky. All the members are converging. Talisman of Ascension popped by the Annie. Ooh. The ultimate coming out from Annie. Hello, Doctor. Here comes Rek'Sai coming out from the wings. Greg is kind of off to the side, but as this is going on, Kog'Maw and Kalista pushing down that mid lane. They're not going to push any further because it's going to be a little bit too risky for them.
But they are match.
This is bananas. It was a little bit one-sided in the beginning, but we understand why. It took a while for U of T to kind of get ramped up, but now it's just a tight, like David and Goliath right now. It's just Titans against Titans. 2 Koreans, 2 really two strong men. It's insane. These guys are really good. The best of Ontario. This is the Ontario Esports Series League of Legends Provincial Championships. We have the best of Ontario here, homegrown talent, and you're watching it live.
Yeah, really good matches.
From my grandma's house.
And from Sten's house, because I don't have my computer down. But yeah, awesome. So I still think U of T is likely to walk away with this one. The gold gap is slightly closed, so... potentially, you know, if they continue down this road, they're going to end up losing it. I still think that they're capable of holding on, though. They've got their tier 2 mid. On the opposite end, you've got the tier 2 outsides, which I think when you have a one team fight, you always want to go down mid. So in that sense, U of T has the advantage. But when you're split pushing, you want to go down the side lane. So in that sense, MiMos has the advantage there. So it's kind of weird, wonky how that's panning out. I still think, though, that it's all about these team fights right now. Omega B, I think more so just distracting the Gnar because he's going to have a lot more input into these team fights, especially when it comes down to taking out the Kalista and the Kog'Maw. So he's just going to distract him up in that top lane. Meanwhile, big push coming into mid.
Gnar is a little bit... He's back to little Gnar. So this gives U of T the opportunity to kind of make something happen in the short amount of time that they have. To, like, you know, have Gnar at such a vulnerable position, and they're going to opt in for the turret, which is a good call. Unfortunately, Gnar is getting a little bit angry now, so they might need to be a little bit afraid. The poke damage is doing work against that Rek'Sai. They have half the turret down to almost taken down. Vladimir's waiting in the wings. I think he's going to flash over and just go balls deep, but Viper has taken down Sivir from the snipes. Looks like they're going to fight a little bit messy. Vladimir in the back line, hoping to take down the Kog'Maw, get him completely eliminated from the fight. Kog'Maw's going to get the pickup. They're going to Romeo and Juliet right in the middle of the lane. Kalista picks up the kill onto Gnar, going a little bit too deep. But here comes... What?
Oh, wow.
I don't know why he just stopped there, but I don't know. To me, I found it funny. I guess he was lost in space.
That was really odd. I feel like he maybe while she was being thrown out, she got a stun off, like she popped her W, and it just looked really strange. But anyways, that was
He was lost in space.
That could be the answer. You're right. That's the answer to a lot of things.
As I say my joke twice. Anyways, you're still not listening to me, Frank. You're still. I feel like I need a distress call now. I need a SOS symbol every time you're not listening to me.
Man,
I feel like I have a volleyball named Wilson.
there's too big of a fight, man. I can't listen to your space jokes. I'm so sorry.
The fight was over.
Yeah, but
Anywho,
it's because my head was lost in space. Like I was just out there, you know.
Okay. And Biofrost to support, right?
Yeah. See, there you go. Clever. You're so clever. You're referring back to old things that we said to make it funny again. I like that. That's good casting. Back to the actual game, which is important here. Let's take a look at some of these items. Kog'Maw, raw damage right now. All the needlessly large rod items. He's got the Void Staff and the Archangel Staff. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but he is now doing the most damage he could possibly be doing. Uh-oh, actually.
Have to put that on pause. Nautilus going balls deep. He misses the hook. Rek'Sai off to the side, dueling what it looks like to be Kog'Maw, but he's returning a lot of damage. Gnar gonna continue to chase onto Kog'Maw. He's completely sectioned off. Hecarim is not there for the fight. Gragas picks up the kill. How is he still alive? Seraph's Embrace was used kind of, it wasn't ready for that fight to keep him alive, but this is the fight that they need. Hecarim's not able to teleport in as he doesn't have it available, and he's taking a little bit low. She has to flash over the wall, and she's gonna get taken down.
And
This is
Baron.
gonna be the Baron, which is live right now. Bachelorette Season 5. Baron is ready for ripe for the picking. The Hecarim and Kalista will have something to say about this. They both are full HP. They are falling a little bit low. Here comes Hecarim, falls to the wall. 4v1. He gets the kill onto Gnar. Kalista's right here to say, hey, what's up? I want to be a part of this TV show. So double kill coming out for a Mega B. Vladimir's kind of like, which sandwich do I go to? Well, looks like he
might do okay.
He might do okay. Gets the kill onto Hecarim. Is this gonna be the double ace again?
He needs a W.
Oh,
he's got W.
He's got it. He's got the. Oh, he's gonna fool again. I don't think.
Wow!
It's
Wow!
Just low. Oh! He gets the kill. 54 bomb 99. Gets the pickup with the will of the ancients, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is Vladimir. That is Vladimir in one play.
Oh my god. The Q. Oh my god. She missed. I can't even speak. She missed her Q, I think, in the midst of all of that, which is obviously that's great for Vladimir. I don't know if it would have hit if she would have still gotten it, but maybe she I think she pressed rend too early too. Actually,
the damage. Hold on, we have to push it on pause. Rek'Sai gets completely blown up, and he's gonna fall down to dank Mimir lift. They're gonna pick up the third dragon of the game. Sorry I had to interrupt you there. That was completely. These guys just keep fighting. They don't give us casters a break. Jeez.
No, man. Too much. But that's good, though. This is definitely working its way up into being a great game here. You've got now Vladimir clearly again, and I've said it before, but if you've got a Vlad who is just completely maxed out, he's got the Zhonya's for himself, he's got a little bit of cooldown reduction, he is going to be one of the biggest assets you can possibly have on your team. Speaking of assets, being this aggressive may not be one because it's a little bit too much there. He gets caught up between the Annie and the Gragas. But in these fights, Vladimir is so hard to take down. Kog'Maw, by the way, off to the side. He's going to be caught out by the Vlad. He's going to chase him down here, but here comes a fight.
Oh, like the Kog'Maw and the Vladimir's going to take down the Kog'Maw, but on the other side is a 4v4 against UFT and MiMo. It's a 1-for-1 so far. Support for mid lane. Rek'Sai's coming in. He did use his ult, but I don't think it was towards the fight. They don't have their main damage dealer, Kog'Maw, so they're going to have to back off this one. But I don't think that's Baron. I think they're just going to continue dancing back and forth. I was a little bit confused at what you were talking about, and then I realized there was 2 fights going on at once, and Viper got separated. But they actually are going to try to take down this Baron here. Bachelorette Season 5. They're going to have to back off. No roses were given to any of the players tonight. Both teams are
I don't understand. I feel like every time Baron's on the screen, you just say Bachelorette Season 5, and it just makes sense to you, but nobody else. Bachelorette Season 5! Jesus.
Oh, man.
And why do you know what season they're on? Is that the season?
No, I have no idea.
Yes, it is.
I keep. Hey, whoa. Anyways, let's talk about Hecarim, not the Bachelorette. He manages to get out of there with a turret to his name. Picks up the red buff as well. This game is going completely out of control, and we haven't really talked about what is it that both teams need to win, because they both keep killing each other, like almost aces. I do think that both teams are playing towards their like correct composition. However, MiMos Angels gets caught out a little bit more than UFT, which causes them to be in the position that they're in. 7k down. What is that? 11 kills down. Sorry, my math is terrible. 11 kills down.
13.
What? No. 13. Wait. Wait. Oh shit. Yeah, 13. All right. I definitely didn't pass grade.
They're down like 6 dragons. You know, 8 towers.
2 turrets.
It's a lot. Yeah.
Oh, Righteous Glory pop for Nautilus. Not gonna do anything with it. I like how Vladimir's waiting in the wings. You would expect it to be somebody like Gnar or Rek'Sai, but it's Vladimir.
Yeah.
Which is good, which I like, because he goes straight towards the back line, which Vladimir doesn't have. He doesn't have that ability. He doesn't have like a gap closer or anything, so he has to walk there, and he's doing what he can with his flanking ability. Unfortunately, he's on the kind of like the far end. Here comes the Sivir ultimate. Look, what are they gonna do? Gragas throws down his ultimate. Kog'Maw's a little bit too far away. The Hecarim teleport's coming in from the backside. Hopefully he's going to turn onto the 2 people. The huge body slam. Minion gets a turret in the bot lane. That's not relevant to the fight. Rek'Sai and Kalista are dueling in the top side there. Gnar picks up the Kog'Maw, but Kog'Maw picks up the Vlad. That's going to be exactly what they need. They can do completely anything with this as long as Vladimir is down. This gives them completely the opportunity. Righteous Glory pops out from the Annie. Stun going out. Nope, not yet for Gnar. But the Hecarim is going to just completely tank this damage from Sivir. There's no turret there to help them survive. The flash body slam. A wild Mimo becomes a dead Mimo. And Nautilus is going to get picked up by the Kalista as well. Gnar off in the wings. That's going to be GG. There's nothing that Gnar can do to stop this. He's going to try to get away as best as he can. But he's being completely chased down by this Hecarim, who's 11, 2, and 18, which if you didn't look at the scoreboard, you wouldn't have thought he was that big, but he is. And I'm very impressed to say that he's at that point. I would have thought Kog'Maw would have had like 20 kills by now, or, you know, what, Kalista, and he's almost there. But Hecarim 11, 2, and 18, putting in work for his team. He's big there when his team needs him. In the beginning, we were questioning his itemization, but I guess now he's a big grown pony. They are gonna back off this one, but in league school they teach you once you have 3 exposed inhibs, it's almost impossible to come back.
Yeah, and I was actually noticing that earlier, that the Hecarim was such a strong champion at this point. And it's very important to note that he's gone pretty well exclusively tank, other than that Trinity Force, which I think you need. You need at least the Trinity if you're going to be adding a lot of value to your team. You need to cause some threat to the back line. I want to point out, though, and I didn't recognize this before, but Sivir actually, watching that fight midway through, I thought that was actually MiMos team's fight, because I was watching Sivir. She threw out so many auto attacks to their front line, and then somehow everyone else died, and then Hecarim, who she was auto attacking the most, had full health. And then I looked, and I was like, okay, well, I guess that makes sense with a Thornmail, Ninja Tabby, Randuin's, and Frozen Heart. I suppose that makes a little bit of sense that he would still be full health.
Yeah.
So it's important to note that Hecarim really isn't going to go down to anyone other than Vladimir, and Vladimir has way better targets to focus on, especially as a Vladimir. You get to choose who you focus because you're in the middle of the fight. You're allowed to be there.
Looks like they are going to trade Dragon for Baron. I guess I like that trade. I mean, what else can they do, really? If they're just going to sit in their base and defend, you might as well take Dragon while you can.
Yeah.
But with this Baron buff, they are just going to wait for all the minions to kind of push in and just choke him down, for lack of a better word. This is exactly what this feels like, just being completely choked. They are going to try to engage here. Gnar goes to the fight. He has 2 people knocked up. They are going to kind of try to continue the chase. Ballista falling dangerously low. The GA does pop. Hopefully he's going to be able to get out of that alive. Rampage onto the Rek'Sai, but Vladimir does pick up the Annie. Double kill for Kalista. Kog'Maw picking up the Vladimir. That's going to be GG. That fight was just messy. Like, I had no idea what was going on there. There was just so many spells, and everybody was, it was insane. But because of the GA from Kalista, they came out on top. If it wasn't for that GA, I think that might have been the fight to win for MiMos Angels. So itemization for the win. That is going to be UFT at the top of the bracket. We still have 1 more game left to go before the finals.